I said, I don't really know what's going on most of the time. Maybe it's because I'm like too old for it or something. Hello everyone, it's Luli, and today I'm going to be talking to you about this otome game that was recently released on mobile by Cheritz called the Ssum. I've played about 7 days worth, and I thought I'd kind of tell you about my feelings so far and what this game entails. But before I start, if you like VNs, if you like otome games, and if you like fangirling over 2D guys, then you come to the right place, because I upload once, sometimes twice a week, and stream regularly. So if that's something you like, click that subscribe and bell button and you will not regret it. Also, although I would not consider any of what I include in this video as spoilers, I'm aware that, what you consider spoilers and what I consider may not quite align, and so I'll be including a few pieces of maybe like conversations I've had and things that I don't think is necessarily going to really revealing, but I understand, that some people are sensitive, so if that's the case for you, then I would swiftly move on. But anyway, let me start. So, the Ssum is a chat function, as was Mystic Messenger. Basically, you've got like this Android thing. I don't actually know the story, to be honest. They don't really make it very clear. But this Android thing pops up and is like, oh, I'm going to match you with someone. And bearing in mind, there's only one love interest, Teo. So I think maybe they're going to add a few more in the future. I'm not sure. But you get matched with Teo, who you start talking with on this message app. But it's kind of like, sometimes the messages are very, he just doesn't get to the point. So far after 7 days of playing it, I'm kind of like, I think it's okay if you like kind of casually play it, but it might get a bit boring if you're taking it super seriously. But this game doesn't only have a chat function, it has this weird system where it's like an online forum type thing where you can upload your thoughts for free once a day, and then there's this planet thing where you discover a planet. I don't even know how. I think it's from this other thing that I'll explain in a bit. But when you discover a planet, there's another forum-like thing there which you can chat. And I think people can like click the support button and it gives you energy or something. I don't know. I just post, I'm like, this is kind of fun, and I do it because then you get energy and stuff. But like, most of the time I don't know what's going on. You've also got incubation, where you incubate like these little essence, emotion, energy things. And then they turn into like these little items, which helps increase your experience, which then increases your incubator level. Honestly, I don't know what's going on for most of it. I just do it because it's for some reason kind of fun. You also discover little pets that give you rent in the form of either energy or like just things. And as I said, I don't really know what's going on most of the time. Maybe it's because I'm like too old for it or something. But it is kind of fun. But most of it is, so basically you set your schedule, so what time you wake up, when you have breakfast, what time you tend to have lunch, and what time you tend to have dinner. But obviously your schedule probably changes quite a bit. Like I wake up at 9, right? And yet I do, but I'm not in really the mood to chat with Teo at 9 AM. I'm not in the mood to chat to anyone at 9 AM. So, I've kind of missed out on a few like conversations that happen at 9, like potentially happen at 9 AM. The same goes for breakfast, because I just kind of forget. I usually go on my daily walk, and so I forget about poor Teo. If you look at if you can actually go back, it's called like the Milky Way calendar or something, and you can look back at like how much percentage you've completed of like that particular time period, and all of mine are like wake up time conversations 0%, breakfast time 0%, and then like the rest are like from maybe 30 to 100 depending on how bored I was in that day. I don't know how what endings there are, whether you need to talk to him more to get good endings. I really don't know, but I probably will push through it a little longer, just so that I get a better feel for the game. And oh yeah, you also occasionally get calls from him, and I don't know, it's just it's a bit intense for me, and he's a real chatterbox, and sometimes you won't even reply. He's like, wake up Peach, wake up, and I'm like, honestly, you are so needy. Like, I think if I had a friend that messaged me that much, I'd be like, oh boy, like, he is so needy. And so anyway, let me move on to kind of like my thoughts in terms of like what I think is good about it and what I think is bad about it. So what I think is good about it is kind of like a fun way to fill those gaps of time where you haven't got much to do or you're waiting. Like, for example, I'll be playing a game. When the loading screen comes off, it's perfect to have Teo there to message, like even if it's a really dumb conversation. It's like something to do, if you know what I mean. So in that sense, it's fine. And like, I'm quite a casual player, so although like some people may get frustrated having to wait a minute for him to reply or, you know, whatever, for me I'm okay because I'm very casual. I just like reply every now and then when I want to, and who knows, I'm probably gonna get the bad ending if good or bad endings is a thing, but hey, I'm kind of having fun, so it's okay. So it's kind of casual. It's nice to have it on mobile because like most people have access to mobile phones, so it's like, you know, it's kind of free. I'll explain to you in a moment why I say kind of, but yeah, it's kind of nice to have that sort of game that everyone pretty much can play, as opposed to there being a paywall of having to buy a Switch or, you know, a computer or whatever. So in that sense, it's good. They do send a lot of what they call CGs, but now the reason why I say CG like that is because these CGs, like, you know, when someone says CG, you think of like a very detailed art of like the couple together, or like even if it's just like the love interest, it's, you know, like properly drawn and stuff. By CG for this, they kind of, yeah, they've drawn Teo, but like the background may be like funnily traced over a real one, and like not in a stylish way, but in a kind of way. And some of the CGs don't have Teo in them. It would be like a piece of paper saying something, or like an item. So they advertise it as if there's like loads of CGs, when in reality it's just like more like photos, I would say. So it's good in the sense that, you know, these photos kind of almost make you feel like this, you know, Teo has his life, and you can kind of, it feels more real. But also the quality isn't particularly great. Yeah. Another good thing is he's great for stress relief because he's really annoying. And some of the options are really like, so in that sense, it's kind of funny. Like, I know it sounds really mean, but I was tweeting the other day that he awakens the doesu, or like the sadistic side of me. He just makes it wake up, and I can't help but say like borderline mean things to him. So you could call it stress relief. I don't know, but it does kind of make me laugh, and it's oddly addictive. Now, moving on to the bad things. This game is constantly bothering you to spend money, and like there's an advert every time you come off of the chat bit. You get like an advert popping that, you know, after 5 seconds you can finally close. There's like paywalls for certain things, like for example, occasionally Teo will say something private, in which case you'd have to pay however much to get access to those private thoughts of his. And there are some images that you have to pay to be able to see. And you know, you do have energy, but there's another thing called like battery or whatever, and you need those to kind of redo conversations in the past if you didn't manage to do them, or, you know, take calls that you missed, that sort of thing, which only seems to recuperate, or like you only seem to get some of those battery like things if you, I think, level up in the planet, I think. Which takes quite a long time. So, you know, there are lots and lots and lots of moments where they want you to spend money. Now, I still have not spent money, so it doesn't mean that you can't enjoy it without spending money. It's just if you're the type of person that's a completionist and you want to see those images, you want to see those like private thoughts of Teo, then, you know, yeah, you might kind of want to pay. And also sometimes he takes a lifetime to reply, and, you know, using these battery things allows you to like kind of skip that. So there are lots of moments like that where you could spend money to make your experience a bit easier, but like, as I said, I have not spent money on it yet. I refuse, at least until I spend a good amount of time. Another annoying thing is that he takes forever to get to the point. It's not like you get one message that says his thoughts. He sends like a billion of them, and in like small like chunks, and like he takes forever to get to the point where you're like, yeah, you're in hospital, I get it. Yeah, you're eating, great. And I'm like, what are you trying to say? Like, he takes forever. And then, but when he finally finishes, he hasn't really told you anything. Like, you're kind of like, what was the point in that? So whenever you're like messaging, it almost feels like you're kind of just messaging to fill your percentage of like completion of that time slot. And yeah, it can feel a little bit like, why am I doing this? And also he's very obsessed. He won't stop talking about himself. I understand that in this game they kind of they can't really talk about you because, you know, they don't know you and that sort of thing. But like when he won't shut up about his, you know, desires, his dreams, what he's eating, like everything about himself, you do kind of get fed up. That's probably what awakens the sadist side of me. Because I'm like, oh, you're annoying me so much. But I have heard that on the 14th day, he improves. So I'm kind of waiting until it's like day 14, and then I'm probably going to make another one of these videos to report on how his behavior changes, because I kept on seeing people complain about him, and then day 14 appears and everyone's like, I'm sorry, Theo. So now I'm really curious as to what the hell this changes. I need to see it. So yeah, I'll keep on playing and see how he changes. But that's kind of like the bad things. And also a lot of the time I don't really know what's going on. I'm just pressing buttons and like enjoying getting like energy or whatever. As I said, I don't know what's going on. Like the tutorials don't really explain things because they explain in a very kind of cryptic way, shall we say. So I'm kind of sitting there going, I'm really confused, but it's kind of fun in a really weird way, like addictive. And I don't Oh, another good thing is if you play with a friend, you can make fun of Theo together. Like, why is he saying this? God, he's so clingy. Like, you know, complaining with your friends about him is kind of funny. So that's sort of a good thing too. But yeah, so overall, to summarize, my general thoughts so far is that Theo is clingy as hell and weird and annoying, but for some reason I don't mind talking to him. It's really weird. I don't know. And yeah, I'm looking forward to day 14 to see how my opinions change. I'm not sure how long I'll be playing this for. I think a lot of people quit because they got fed up of the ads and stuff, but I think it's good for those who are like casual players like me, who just kind of like play it every now and then. It's perfect for, you know, you're waiting for the bus or like the train or something, you're bored, you've got nothing to do. So yeah, I kind of recommend it, though like not completely. I recommend it in a like, you should try this out because it's hilariously bad kind of way. Maybe some of you may disagree, and as I said, I've only played 7 days worth, so like who knows, it may improve. But yeah, at the moment so far I would recommend it in like a play it because it's so hilariously bad, and like I don't know, there's something about it, and who knows, it might improve. But yeah, I think that's kind of like my thoughts so far. I shall update you in, you know, a week or so, telling you what like the changes were. And yeah, that's it really. As is always the case, thank you very much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the content, and hopefully I'll see you in another one of my videos or streams. Bye!